All right, guys. So I decided it was time to check the swinging arm bearings on my 790 Adventure R. This bike has been through a number of rivers. I've recently changed or greased the swinging arm on my 350, and I thought it was about time I did it on the 790. So first of all, how to get the swinging arm out. Not as easy as you might expect. So what you do is you loosen this bolt. That bolt will come out, I found, but the bolt on the other side won't. It just spins. So how to get it out? And as it turns out, what you do is loosen it and then fit a shaft and bang it, and basically the other bolt starts coming out the other side. So I'm having to hold the camera for obvious reasons. It's going to be a little hard to show, but I'm basically going to knock from that side. Hopefully the swinging arm shaft and that bolt will come out in one unit. Let's see what happens. So I'm using this rod here that actually is a, what do you call those things? These protectors through the center of the shock. I have another spare one of those. I'm just going to tap it. Yep, that is definitely going through. So let's see what's happening on the other side. Aha! There she is. And out it comes. Okay, so that is, yep, that is bolted on there, but I think that might be Loctited. That's not coming loose. So I'm going to take that out. I've loosened off the shock. And let's see what happens. Okay, so after tapping, out comes the swinging arm bolt. All I need to now is to remove the swinging arm. Clearly, one top tip, don't forget to remove your chain or the chain guard, presumably if you've got a continuous chain. All right, let's try that. Pull the swinging arm off. Yep, and out she came. Pretty straightforward in the end. Yeah, it's just basically very similar to every other KTM I've ever seen. All right, very easy to do. And now I just need to strip the bearings and have a look and see if they need re-greasing. Fantastic. So, good news. Typical KTM, most bikes seem to operate in a very similar fashion. So first of all, I'm looking at my little parts fiche here, especially this diagram there. I just searched for KTM Adventure swinging arm fiche. So first of all, you remove these bucket seals. They just pop off the end. And in typical fashion, you have you don't want to be careful pulling that out, because there are your needle rollers sitting there. Now in my 350, I was able to remove this and none of the needles fell out, which was fantastic. I was able to clean them. So it actually feels pretty good, but it's time for an upgrade. So there's the other one that pops out. I need to clean that up. So I'm going to remove the, what do they call this? This is number 12. The bearing sleeve. So I'm going to push the bearing sleeve out. One of two things are going to happen. Either needles are all going to drop into a little heap at the bottom, or they're going to sit in place, which is where I need them. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, so both sleeves came out, coated in grease, which is good, but it's got that definite funky smell to it. Yeah, here are all the needles sitting in place. None of them fell out. I'm not going to be overly aggressive. I'm going to leave them there. Now I need to clean all the grease out from these needles. Actually, it looks like they're not, they could easily fall out, but it looks like that one there is definitely at an angle. So I've got to be a bit careful, but I know exactly how I'm going to clean this. So I was thinking of cleaning them in place, hoping they wouldn't fall out, but I decided in the end, let's get a little magnetic doodad here, and doop. Let's take all these little needle rollers out, clean them separately. There you go. And then that should be easy to put back together again. Cool. Put them in a little glass jar. Nothing lost. Okay, so all the needle bearings, needle rollers are out. How many do you think are in each? I counted the ones that are in that remaining roller there and counted these, and there's 37 needle rollers in each. 37. All right, let's carry on, clean these up. All right, a little windy today. You can see why I use these little kitty mats when I knocked over my cleaning solution, i.e. non-ethanol gas. So how am I going to clean all this stuff? I'm basically going to put them in these little pots. That's actually ethanol-free gas. And then I'm going to pop it into my ultrasonic cleaner. Leave it there for half an hour and everything will come up spotless, I hope. All right, so half an hour later, 25 minutes at least. That is simple green, a bit of gasoline and water. A real funny combination. But I'm very confident it's going to clean it up beautifully. And then we can put everything back together again. All right, cleaning finished. Here are the rollers. Looking lovely and clean. The water's filthy, which is what I would expect. Let's bring out the rest of the parts. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. All right, and then I just need to rinse out. That looks cleanish, but I will take my treasured simple green. A little bit of magic here. This stuff works on just about everything you want. There we go, give it a clean. Give it a rinse with a little water here. I'll do a better job of that in a second. Let it rinse, dry out. But you can tell that is nice and that is spotless. Look at that. You see that? Beautiful. These ultrasonic cleaners are magical. Marvelous. Alright, time for the rebuild. 37 clean little rollers times 4. Clean. Bearings are all clean, even though they've got this little tarnish on them. I've measured them and they're 22 mil end to end, so that's good. And those look spotless. I've left them a few days to dry out. Nice and clean. All right, let's get to rebuilding. I'm sure you guys all know the drill by now, so you take a little bit of grease, just wipe it around the inner there. Make sure you've got the 37 bearings, and then you pick them up one at a time. There's one there. This is not easy to hold the camera and get one bearing down, so I might have to put this down, but basically a little bit of light grease on it. Actually, I won't have to put this camera down. This is not gonna work. Back in a minute. All right, so I pick each roller up with the needle pliers. Pick the rollers up, dip it in a little bit of grease, and carefully lay them in the track, nice and smooth. The only challenge is some of them are magnetics, they tend to stick together, but I'm just gonna keep pressing them in until I've got all 37. All right, well that was a little fiddly. Took about, I don't know, 15 minutes. And then I've just greased the inner bearing here. Let's put that in. And it should push and seat all those little needle rollers. Look at that, beautiful. Nice. They're all seated perfectly. All right, one down, 3 to go. All right guys, well I won't lie, that was definitely a little fiddly. But they're all in, and I can now slide in this all the way through. Yep, that feels very nice. Good. Let's put the little end caps on and move to the other side. All right, so there's an hour of my life I'll never get back, but a little tedious, but they're all in. And in she goes. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Just what it needs. And then obviously put the end caps on and we're all good. Fantastic. When everything went back very easily, greased the swinging arm, pivot there, pushed it through. 100 Newton meters, check your manual. Mine says 100 Newton meters for the swinging arm pivot and 80 Newton meters for the lower shock bolt. All right, let's get this thing buttoned up.